All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking an absolute titan of modern literature, Ursula K. Le Guin's A Wizard of Earthsea. Now, if you're thinking, oh great, another story about a kid going to magic school, well, you are in for a huge surprise. We're going to see how Le Guin didn't just invent that whole trope, but actually used it to craft a profound ecological, psychological, and philosophical masterpiece. It's a journey that literally challenges the foundation of how we view heroes, magic, and our entire relationship with the natural world. Let's get into it. So here is our roadmap. We're kicking things off with the original boy wizard himself, then we'll uncover the deep Taoist roots of Earthsea's magic. From there, we'll dive into the psychological coming of age in the first book, look at how Le Guin rewrote the rules of her own universe decades later, and finally, bring it all together as a profound ecological fable. Section 1. The original boy wizard, inventing a genre decades before Hogwarts. Only in silence the word, only in dark the light, only in dying life, bright the hawk's flight on the empty sky. That is the poem that opens the novel, and man, it perfectly sets the elemental tone we're stepping into. You instantly feel that we are not in some whimsical fairy tale here. Earthsea is this vast, rugged archipelago of islands, oceans, and winds. Magic here isn't just some flashy party trick. It's an ancient, cosmic force deeply tied to the natural world. Now, check out this timeline. Back in 1968, Le Guin introduces us to Ged. He attends a school for wizards, he's an innately powerful prodigy, and he even gets a distinct facial scar from a dark enemy. Sound familiar at all? Yeah, nearly 30 years before massive pop culture phenomena popularized these exact same tropes, Le Guin was pioneering them. But as we're going to see, she takes these familiar elements in a completely different, much deeper philosophical direction. So who exactly is our protagonist? Well, he's born a poor smith's son named Dunny, and he is undeniably talented. He actually saves his village from raiders using a fog spell before he even really understands what he's doing. But here is the catch. He's fiercely proud, he's arrogant, and he's super impatient. He gets taken in by a quiet, patient mentor named Augion, but Ged is just way too restless for Augion's slow teachings. So he packs up and journeys to the renowned School of Wizardry on Roke Island. And that sets the stage for a really dramatic and ultimately tragic coming-of-age story. Section 2. The Tao of Earthsea. Magic as a delicate cosmic balance. Okay, the absolutely crucial concept to grasp here is equilibrium. In Earthsea, magic isn't just waving a wand and getting what you want. It's an incredibly intricate web. As the masters at the wizard school warn their students, to light a candle is to cast a shadow. Every single time a wizard alters the weather or changes a rock into a diamond, they are sending massive ripples through the fabric of reality itself. True power, then, isn't about doing whatever you want. It's having the absolute wisdom to know when not to act. And the mechanics of this magic rely entirely on true names. In this universe, knowing a thing's true, ancient name grants you absolute power over it. A huge chunk of the wizard school's curriculum is literally just memorizing the true name of every inlet, every drop of water, every plant. It's rooted in this beautiful, profound idea that language literally shapes the material world. If you know the exact word for a thing, you know the thing itself. When you compare this worldview to traditional Western heroes, think Achilles or even your standard modern action hero, the contrast is just mind-blowing. Western heroes are usually conquerors, right? They fight the elements, their core drive is force, rage, and glory. But Earthsea wizards, they're deeply rooted in Taoist philosophy. They act as humble mediators. They seek balance and deeply respect nature. Le Guin deliberately strips away that dualistic conqueror mindset of Western fantasy and replaces it with this interconnected, holistic approach. Section 3, Facing the Shadow Within, a psychological coming of age. So back at the wizard school, Ged's pride totally gets the better of him. He gets provoked by a condescending rival student, and to show off, he casts a highly forbidden spell to summon a spirit from the dead. But here's the thing, he completely lacks the wisdom to control it. The spell literally rips a hole in the fabric of the world, and this nameless, terrifying shadow beast crawls through. It viciously attacks and scars him. So for the rest of the book, Ged is no longer this proud, arrogant prodigy. He is a terrified young man fleeing across the oceans, constantly hunted by a creature that wants to possess him. Later, the archmage of the school tells him a devastating truth. It is the shadow of your arrogance, the shadow of your ignorance, the shadow you cast. Wow. This completely transforms the story from a simple monster hunt into a profound psychological rite of passage. In a deeply Jungian sense, this shadow isn't just some random evil monster, it's Garrett's own dark side. It's the literal, physical manifestation of his pride, his anger, and his impatience. Which brings us to the stunning climax of the first book, when Ged finally stops running and corners the beast at the very edge of the world. He doesn't kill it with a lightning bolt or a magical sword. Instead, he drops his staff, reaches out to this terrifying monster, and speaks its true name. And you know what the shadow's true name is? It's Ged. By recognizing and fully embracing the darkest part of himself, they merge. He isn't conquering an external evil. He's achieving internal wholeness. It's brilliant. Section 4. Rewriting the Rules. Le Guin's Feminist Awakening. Now, the story of Earthsea doesn't end with Ged's triumph, and neither does Le Guin's evolution as a writer. Look at this massive 18-year publication gap on our timeline. Le Guin wrote the original 3 books in rapid succession, but then she just stopped. For nearly 2 decades, her own feminist consciousness was evolving. She realized she had unconsciously written her magical universe strictly within a male-dominated literary tradition. So in 1990, she returned to Earthsea to write Tehanu, deliberately upending the very universe she had spent years creating. She really started examining the power structures of her own world. In the original books, high magic is entirely male. It's academic, it's institutionalized at Roke Island, it's focused on grand power, and it's strictly celibate. Meanwhile, female magic is marginalized out in the villages, culturally dismissed with the mantra, weak as woman's magic, wicked as woman's magic. Well, in her later books, Le Guin exposes this mantra as a coercive, systemic lie. She completely shifts the focus to the deep, earth-oriented power of women, a magic that actually predates the academic wizardry of men. So what exactly does she do? She radically deconstructs the classic hero's journey. At the end of the 3rd book, the great archmage Ged completely loses all of his magical powers. When we pick up in Tehanu, the grand heroic quests are just gone. The focus shifts entirely to an ordinary farm. The true heroes become a middle-aged widow named Tenar and a severely abused little girl named Theru. Le Guin forces us to find true strength not in epic magical battles, but in relational, nurturing, and domestic life, in the incredibly hard, daily work of survival and care. Section 5. An Ecological Fable. Rejoining the Dragon and the Human. And this leads us perfectly into our final section, where all these themes, psychology, feminism, and Taoism, culminate. To really understand the ecological message of Earthsea, we have to talk about the dragons. Unlike Western fantasy, where dragons are just big, angry lizards hoarding gold waiting to be slain, Earthsea's dragons are ancient, sublime beings. They speak the language of magic natively. They represent the inexhaustible, terrifying, yet deeply beautiful wild power of nature itself. As Le Guin puts it, they don't do magic, they are magic. This massive shift away from domination ties directly into Le Guin's famous carrier bag theory of fiction. She argued that humanity's original, most important tool wasn't the spear used for killing, it was actually the carrier bag used for gathering and sustaining life. In the later Earthsea books, she completely redefines magic through this lens. It's no longer a weapon of heroic domination and conflict. Instead, it becomes a cultural bag, a tool for maintaining equilibrium, for gathering, and for healing the world. This philosophy builds into the ultimate mythology of Earthsea. We eventually learn the myth of the dragon people. See, long ago, humans and dragons were actually one single species, but a tragic split occurred. Some chose to build houses, accumulate wealth, and fear the wild. They became humans. The others chose the wilderness, the wind, and ultimate freedom. They became dragons. It's this incredibly powerful metaphor for humanity's tragic alienation from the natural environment. And remember that abused little girl, Theru? It's revealed that she is a child of both worlds, with a human mind and a dragon heart, bridging this devastating separation. This all brings us to the poignant conclusion of the entire saga in the final book, The Other Wind. Through the combined efforts of men, women, and dragons, the artificial boundaries of the world are finally torn down. We broke the world to make it whole. They mend the wounds between genders, they dismantle the dark kingdom of the dead so souls can properly rejoin the earth, and they heal that ancient, painful split between human civilization and wild nature. And that leaves us with this final, provocative thought to chew on. Earthsea isn't just a fantasy about a boy wizard. It's a mirror held right up to our own society. It asks us, in our relentless pursuit of power, endless technological progress, and domination, what dragons of the wild have we exiled? And more importantly, What internal shadows must we as a species finally face to restore the balance of our own world? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep asking questions, keep seeking balance, and I'll catch you next time.